So excited. Randy's with me. Micah should be here in a few minutes, and Tim will not be here. So we're going to have a good session today. Welcome to our 10 a.m. Central Time micro moment / compound stock earnings podcast. And you see Randy on the screen there. I hope Micah does show up. He usually gets here at the very last minute. I'm going to start using this iPad. For the first time I've used it, they give me a little flexibility on kind of getting around. So we live right downtown, some pretty interesting places to do these podcasts from, and I can do them with that in my iPhone Wi-Fi feature. Kind of excited about it. I want to welcome everybody. Go to our website, www.micromomenttrading.com, and check out the sites. It's got all of everybody's programs on there and what they cost and when they do them, and explains all about them. And you can sign right up. You can sign up for the free report, which has been published 20 years now. And it goes out to lots of people every Friday and has emails and questions and answers from all our people here answering those questions. And you really get a good feel for what our folks are doing out there to subscribe to our services. There's Micah. Hey, Micah.
Hey, how's it
what's
going?
going on? And how everything works. And just, again, it's free. Doesn't cost anything. Hey, Micah, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Joe?
From my pad today. So,
Sorry?
Anyhow, I say Tim's not going to be. He had an appointment, and maybe somebody else will show up. We'll just have to wait and see. Micah, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Pretty crazy morning in the market today. But
Yep. What?
yeah, no, micro moment went really good today. I mean, the clients were trading circles around us. There's every once in a while, there's days where Tim and I, just for some reason, we don't really, both of us don't really trade much, and the clients just go on this tirade. I mean, there were, 15, 10, 8-cent trades just absolutely everywhere. Tim and I grabbed like one trade each, but man, sometimes we get shown up by our clients for sure.
It was huge today. It was huge. The clients were making on Apple and SPY and all kinds of things. They were just making, and that session was recorded, and that session will be on. So it takes a couple of days to get those things processed, and so in a couple of days it'll be on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And it's really a fantastic session. And yesterday we had a second session. What session started? Y'all started about an hour early, I think, on the second session yesterday. And
yeah,
a tremendous number of trades. Yeah, like made 15-16% yesterday. For the week we're up. I think we're up 60 some odd percent. So we still have tomorrow to go, and we've been averaging 90 something percent in that program, the micro moment stuff, since it's been around. This is the middle of the 8th week, and 97.78% per week is what it's averaged for all those weeks. And that's the 58th week from the time that we started doing subscriptions. Not from the time we've been doing the service for about 3 years. It's more or less in-house. And but it was a crazy day today. The market was down like 900 points when the market opened. When we don't care if it's going down or if it's going up, we just go one way or the other. When you got it that much, then what happened did happen. You get a lot of activity, we're trading activity in the macro moment. We're our average trade maybe is 15 to. Now Randy there, the guy with the hat, has a modified version of the macro moment. We try to be out within 10, 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds max. And he's got more civilized trading, the same principle. And Randy, what do you call that? You call it on yours?
Momentum trading.
Macro moment trading?
It's momentum trading.
Momentum trading, yeah. And he's got some great reports on what they've done this week. I think even today. But I don't think Mike can have that much to talk about this morning. It was just sort of a nice morning, a little later on in the session. We always have to break. The session usually run for Micro Moment, 10:30. I'm sorry, 8:30 Central to 9:30 Central, and then they'll break, and then sometimes they come back. Like yesterday, they came back in the afternoon, and it was really slow in the morning. Boy, it was gangbusters in the afternoon. That was good.
Yeah, yesterday afternoon was
Again,
really
go to our website. Excuse me. Just go to our website, compoundstock.com. Go to micromomenttrading.com and sign up for the free cow report and read all about the stuff that's going on. And you also see all of Randy's trades. And he's, Mike and Randy told me that, remember when y'all participated in the 2-day covered call seminar I did several weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
He got 16 signups. There's still Micro Moment signups. 16 people went over and signed up for his coaching. Is that what it was?
That's incredible.
Yep.
Coaching,
yep.
Randy?
Yeah, getting lots of new people. Like maybe it's because they don't have anything to do at home anymore, so they need something to do.
Yep. And also, I mean, all the new traders, right? Joe, you said there was about 700,000 signups to Robinhood. Looks like Joe's breaking up a little bit.
By the way, if you want to ask anything, type in, and it's going to pop up here on the screen, pop up over on the right-hand side. Also, these gentlemen and myself can answer your questions and do what you need us to do. You just type them in and we'll pick them up. You guys, if you see, you might see it for me. I don't even know if I've seen. I've never done this on the iPad before. So before, it's always on the right side of my screen where right now you're seeing the big blue space and the little picture at the top. But so, Randy, what have you been up to? How's it going? Tell us about all those fantastic trades for the day and this week. Hey, Frank, we're going to get to your question in just a second.
Okay. Yeah, sure. As Joe mentioned, on Mondays, I hold a coaching webinar for what we call momentum trading. And that's using the proprietary advanced charting that Joe developed, but it's a daily. So instead of like Micah uses a minute by minute chart to get in and out in seconds, we look for the beginning of the new rising cycle. So we go through 30, 35, 40 charts every Monday and look for what we call the sweet spot, the beginning of the rising cycle. Then we buy the call and then place an order to sell it. And so on Monday, right there during the coaching webinar, found a Southern company, entered that, and 5 hours later, 5.0% return, all capital invested, return plus 5%. And that was only $11 a share was the cost of that option, because that option is a leap. It's way out into the future. It was a January 21 option. So that's the kind of returns that you can get with advanced charting. Now those are available all throughout the week. So I give training every Monday, and those sessions are live in the market, but they're also being recorded so that the participants can actually watch it later on and go through over and over and over again the training. And even if you're not available during the market, you can watch the archive later on at your own convenience. So that's always great. So we use that advanced chart for all types of techniques, but we also use it for momentum trading. In addition to that, I have the covered call platinum service, which is advanced covered call. And for those that don't know what a covered call is, a covered call is you buy stock and then you sell calls against it and generate weekly income. And Joe's been teaching that for about 85 years or whatever, Joe. He's been teaching how to do covered calls. He developed a whole process of how to do that, and never selling the stock for a loss, just continuing to generate income as it goes up and down. Well, I teach an advanced version of that on Wednesday mornings. Live in the market are the webinars, and again, those are being recorded, and then you can watch them over and over again to take advantage of all that trading, all the training that I provide. And so last week, the cover call platinum positions, and as Joe mentioned, I use my own portfolio to teach you. So you get to see step by step exactly what I'm doing. And so you can follow along in your virtual trading platform until you're comfortable with learning how to do the process yourself. And so last week I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions closed out. And closed out means all invested capital returned and a income locked in. And so we got CrowdStrike. That was a 12.3% return, 4 days of investment, only 80 cents per share invested in that. Moderna was 25% return for 4 days of investment. The QQQ, which is the ETF for the NASDAQ 100, that was a 6.7% return for 3 days. And XBI, which is the ETF for I think the biotech industry, and that was a 11.1% return for 2 days. And each of those, it's not taking a lot of money. They're only 80 cents, 90 cents, $1.20 per share invested to get those kinds of returns. So it's not like you have to have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars in order to enter a position. And those were all closed out. I actually didn't have any new positions that were rolled over to manage into this week. And that's what we do is if the stock goes up, it gets closed out and all the capital is returned and the profit is locked in. If the stock goes sideways, the same thing. All capital is returned and the profit is generated. Even if the stock goes down, all capital gets returned and the profit is locked in. If it goes down a lot, then we manage it. We have techniques that I put together that teach you how to continue that position and generate income week after week after week until you close it at a lower place than you entered it with all the capital returned and your profits locked in. So that's a whole process that I teach about 2 hours, 2.5 hours a week on Wednesday mornings in the Cover Call Platinum service. Oh, and in addition to that, I also do the process that Micah and Tim do, the micro moment trading. I usually do 3, 4, 5 of those trades every day. I use SPX where they use different equities. I only did 2 trades this morning, Micah, because I had other things I was doing. Plus, it was kind of a wild morning. But the first trade, 1.5% return. The second one, 1.6% return. So what's that? 3.1% for the day on that capital, and that's just using the same capital twice. So it wasn't twice the money. It's just one time the money used twice. That's the compounding part of the whole thing.
Yeah, I have a question for you. We have about probably 4 or 5 people that are consistently trading SPX now since the seminar, and that's all they're trading. I know it's a bit different up there at the pricing. Could you maybe explain the difference? Any sort of operational difference you do in micro moment trading that you wouldn't do, or that's different from trading like a $2.30 option?
It's exactly the same process, right? We use the same charts and the entries and exits are the same. Just that SPX is going to be a lot more capital per contract because it's like $19.80, $18.70 this morning. So like if you were doing SPY and you were doing 20 contracts, well, instead of doing 20 contracts on SPY, you would do 2 contracts on SPX, and you would generate basically the same cash and the same percent return. And so there's lots of liquidity, and that's of course one of the things that we're always looking for whatever equity that we want to do micro moment trading on, is you want to have something that has lots of contracts over and over and over again. The SPX is unlimited. There can be as many contracts as people want to buy. So there's not an issue with saying, well, I want to do 10. Well, it's only going to get filled at 3. No, you're going to get 10 because there's thousands and thousands. And the other difference between SPY and SPX is the tax treatment. There's a special code, section 1256 of the IRS code, that treats the index SPX differently from a tax perspective than SPY. So you'll pay less income tax on the SPX than you will SPY. You can get the details from your tax professional, because I'm not a tax attorney or tax professional, but I do take advantage of that section 1256 of the IRS code.
And what does your strike selection look like? Do you go 50 delta or 2 in the money? How do you usually
yeah, the deltas are usually in the 0.4 something range, because I usually go 1 or 2 strikes out of the money because of the cost of the option. And so trading in the money would go faster, but it also would be a few dollars more per share of cost. So it's always in the 0.4 something. It's not usually do I ever get anything at 0.5 or higher.
Gotcha. And then finally, what's your maximum spread? What's your spread zone you like to trade?
The spreads are usually about 20 cents.
20 cents? Okay.
Yeah, between the high and the low. And I always put my order in at the mid, and then adjust from there. But it usually fills somewhere around that mid. And of course, the prices are changing so quickly up and down that it can hit the mid even when you don't think that it's going to. So and then I think, just like you, as soon as I enter a position, I immediately put an order in to close it out.
Yep.
And a lot of times it'll close just about as fast as I can get the order in. So
awesome. Thank you. I'll have the people who do trade SPX come back and watch this video so they can get your perspective on that.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Awesome.
Let's look at Frank. Your question back up there. We answer it now.
Yeah, I can answer this one.
You're the one that puts it back there. You didn't.
Micro moment trades. What criteria you're looking at when deciding? Yeah, which criteria you're looking at when deciding which stock or ETF to trade? So there's the really only criteria is we trade very quickly. So we don't want any lag, like Randy was talking about on fills. So then our main priority becomes liquidity. We want loads of volume, more than we need ideally, so that we even get some beneficial fills sometimes. If there's not enough volume, you just won't fill. And if there's only a little bit of volume, you're going to really have to try and pay a little bit more to get into those positions. Whereas if you're trading Apple, Q, SPY, you're certainly not limited. We have people trading Microsoft. They traded Intel, SPX, like all sorts of different things. They move a little bit better, and it's just what you're comfortable with, as long as it's a big name. And some big names can't even hold up. Like, you probably couldn't trade micro moment trade Starbucks, Walmart. I don't think you could do it on a lot of those main names. And then we try to also stay out of the super high priced stocks. If we're going to go high price, we're going to go to something like the SPX. We're not going to go to Tesla or Amazon, something like that. The option structure is much different up there. And then we also want to make it accessible to everyone. So if we were trading Amazon options, a lot of people just wouldn't be able to learn from us. And we want to make it so that everyone can trade, because everyone can trade. So that's how we pick.
It's important to realize too, for folks watching this, when you subscribe to their service, and when they put a trade out, that's a real trade. They're doing it with their real money accounts, and you get notice. You're contemplating doing a trade. You get that notice so you can prepare to learn how to make that same kind of trade, watch it, and make the trade if you want to. Then they say, I'm entering it now. And you get that. You enter it, or at least now you've learned what motivates you to enter a trade. And then when you get out, and these are followed up with emails, so you have a record of all this stuff. And those go in the counter report also. So you go back and look at them later on. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all's voices are breaking up just a tad. It's probably going out. I think this little iPad is not a new iPad, and it's a little iPad. And so I don't think it's got the capacity. I see everything fine, but your voices just break up every now and then. So I hope mine's not breaking up. But I looked up here, and I've got like 12 programs running on it. So I think that may be the problem.
Probably.
And so next time I'm going to not have it on there, because it's working good as far as the video goes, but they're just, a little bit breaking up. So
Yeah, you're breaking up
okay.
every once in a while, but it's super rare.
Yeah. Y'all see more questions on there? Anybody ask more questions? Oh, there we go. Brian.
Ooh,
Okay.
graduate?
My buddy Brian Fort Worth. Thank you very much for the guidance and help on the micro moment trading. I'm going to take a hiatus and try continuing this on my own. And Joe, of course, I hope to see you around. Absolutely, Brian, and that'll be great. Come back if you need any help, but I'll see you probably. I usually see Brian. We usually had lunch together, and then a couple times a week. He's the attorney here in Fort Worth. Travels to Europe quite a bit, and
That's awesome.
good deal.
But Brian, I want you to make a promise. You have to like stay in touch. You have to comment on Facebook, say hi every once in a while. We have our graduates, and they just do so good that they forget about us. We had a couple of clients at the seminars that just were absolutely killing it, and they moved on because they didn't need to pay the fee anymore. And now we don't hear from them, and we like all our clients. We talk to them every day. So make sure you still say hi every once in a while, please.
Yeah. Well, Brian knew nothing about this business. I mean, nothing. And he started off as rough there for, a month or so, but now today he had an incredible number of trades. Yesterday he had an incredible number of trades, so he's really doing well. And there's Peter. And Melissa and I went and looked at Apple after the webinar as this AM. Does Apple options only trade in 5-cent increments? Like you're the Apple abuser?
No, it never has. I'm not sure what you were looking at. No, they're still in incrementals right now. Oh, the June 19th. Yeah, I think that's a quarterly. It is only moving fives. Yeah, I wasn't aware that something that trades single cents could switch to 5 cents on quarterlies, Randy. But it's true. June 12th is all 1 cent increments, and June 19th is all 5 cent increments. You're right. No,
Wow.
no, not all, but most. Yeah. I'm guessing that's the higher prices. I don't think it's restricted to that. You probably just have the majority of it filling there because it's $7 at the money, right? $7, you're getting up their option price. That's $715 per contract. So yeah, I see a couple like 38s though and 33s. There's a 36, 89. So yeah, it's just something going on right now, I think.
There was a question up there, it disappeared. So just said, Joe, something, your volume, something. If that question could come back up. Joe, your volume is much lower than Randy and Micah's. Okay, I'm glad to know that because that means I just need to sit a little closer. Next time, thanks, Frank, for that info.
Yeah, Micah and I did that on purpose, Joe.
Yeah. You turn your volume down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to read this one? Okay, Joe, you mentioned yesterday that you, Randy, I'll get closer. Bob will be better. Joe, you mentioned yesterday that you and Randy and Dirk had some news about special pricing on combined Platinum CC and Micro Moment. Such a wonderful opportunity. Yes, we do. We're trying to, in fact, I was talking before the session started with Randy before he got on. We're trying to work that out now, Dirk and myself, because Randy has several programs, so we've got to get with Randy, work this out, all those, what would the pricing be? But it'll be good pricing for the two combined. But but we are definitely working on that. We'll probably have something by middle to the end of next week, and we'll go from there. What I was going to say though about both of these gentlemen's programs, if you never use margin, and it's just incredible leverage that they get without borrowing money. In other words, without using margin from the broker, which is usually just 50% leverage. they're getting probably, in 80s, 90% leverage. The things that Tim and Mike are doing are like $1.50, $2 QQQ. Price is very dependent on the strike and such. Versus buying the stock, whatever, Apple for $300 or $400. You're getting an option for a couple of bucks, and that's what they're trading. Randy is doing the exact same thing with leaps, and also when he does his versions of these micro moment trades. You deal with options and leaps, which stands in place of a stock. And in Randy's business, he's renting real estate. He's renting apartments. In other words, he buys that stock or that leap, which represents the stock, and then he can treat that leap and sell against it just like he can a stock, except instead of paying, a lot of money, $50, $100, whatever for the stock, he's only paying a couple of bucks for the leap. So these are fantastic instruments to leverage your money without the use of margin or borrowing money, which is death. You're doing covered calls and micro moment stuff. You should never do it. And a lot of people don't realize that. They think that, because a lot of times they'll ask, well, it's kind of expensive stock. There's a lot less money you could do this with. Well, yeah, but you don't need to because you're not paying anything for the options anyhow. So speak of. And then you got the compounding effect, just huge compounding, and you can really grow your money astronomically. And it's just a great trading technique. Tim and Micah's sessions, Micah moments, are every day from 8:30 in the morning when the market opens, that Central Time, to around 9:30, and then they're gone pretty much. And sometimes they come back in the afternoons, like yesterday. Sometimes they might come back in the afternoon every week. Kind of depends on what the market's doing. Like that yesterday was real slow in the morning, and it brushes in the afternoon, so you never know. But you do get the notices. And Randy's sessions are more prescribed by time because he's got several sessions. One of them has a different time, and he has a tough time keeping up with all the different sessions that he has. If you want to subscribe, you need to go to our website, micromomenttrading.com. Also, we still have up the website, Compound Stock Earnings, and they have the exact same information on them. You can go to either one of them and subscribe to the free account report. So, Randy, so this Thursday, your week's almost over. So what does it look like you're going to have returns for the week?
Looking good so far, even though the market has gone down, last 2 days plus today. The Dow's down. Oh, the Dow's it's down 1,000 points this morning. So we got 1,700 or so points down on the Dow.
I've not looked at it. What's it down?
Yeah, the Dow's down 1058. S&P's down 103. So it's hitting some rock bottom today. The
Dow down. What's the Dow down?
It's down 1,050 points. It's way down. The TV commentators are blaming it on Chairman Powell yesterday, saying there's doom and gloom in the economy. And but anyway, it was due for a correction. It went up so fast, and the Nasdaq was at all-time highs the last couple of days. So it was kind of a due for a little bit of a slowdown. But all the new positions I put on this week, it looks like probably all of them will close out tomorrow for the max profit and all the capital return. There may be one that has to get managed.
What do you think it's going to be for the week return wise?
Oh, those positions will be averaging in the 8 or 9% return per position, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 positions on. So it'll, it should be another good week because of the selection of a covered call being deep in the money. So because we enter covered calls, totally different than anybody else in the market does. That's not how the market uses a covered call. But we enter deep in the money. So that allows the stock to be able to even go down and still be in the money and get called out, which is what we want to have happen. We want to be called out so we get all of our capital back and lock in the profit. And that's what I try to do for every week, for every position. And it's still, even with the huge down day yesterday and the day before, and one today. It's the positions are still all looking good. There might be one that I have to put into management and roll it out into next week at a lower cost. But otherwise, they're all still looking good. Knock on wood, of course. I don't like to. It's like when a pitcher's throwing a no hitter for 7 innings. You don't like to go ask him and tell him, hey, you're pitching a no hitter, because the next guy always hits a home run.
Yeah.
So I don't like to really talk about what might happen by the end of the week. So we'll see how it goes.
I mean, in this market, who knows?
Yeah, I think the market right now, we've averaged on the 97.78% for the last 57 weeks with these things that, as of this last Friday, and I think they're around 66 today. So we'll probably end up around 80 something, maybe about average.
Yeah. I had one that we couldn't really include.
Yeah, it's just crazy with the quantity.
You're breaking up a little
Sorry?
bit. Oh, yeah, I had one yesterday. I actually did a 2-hour momentum trade yesterday. First one in a long time, super small size, but that ended up being a 40.3% return on small size. Stayed in longer than I would have, right? Because there's no risk. It wasn't a micro moment trade. It was about probably an hour and a half, but yeah, the market's been just crazy volatile lately. The cool thing, yesterday. Go ahead.
When you say his momentum is low, they are. And look at your beard and look at his beard. That's the difference between micro moment and momentum trades. It's the shades of your beards.
I feel like I should have.
Here's transactions.
I feel like the more stressful.
Yeah.
I'm working on being like Micah. Instead of just the goatee, I'm going to the full beard to see what it looks like.
He's gonna dye it brown.
If you start doing pure micro moment, your beard change colors yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna call it a day here because we're about 32 minutes into the deal. And so I will not use this again unless I get it. I say I've got all kinds of programs. I've been afraid to sit there, hit them and take them off, see if it improves, but it will not be any inconvenience for anybody. It will not be, even if I use the iPad next podcast, it'll work right. So, but first time, hell, I didn't know, Thank you guys for being here. Thanks everybody for being here. Go to our website, compoundstockearnings.com, and also micromomenttrading.com, and sign up for the free cow report. And you have all this information on the website, and then with the cow report, you see all the emails, everything that people write to us, the answers that they get, and so on and so forth, and their experience. We have people that have been with us for 15, 16, 17 years. So, Randy, old guy on here. I mean, we got people older than Randy, if that's possible. So, guys, thanks.
One sec, Joe.
We'll see everybody later on.
1 second,
Joe.
Joe. Okay.
Yeah.
We also want to plug our Facebook. I put up a really quite comical video yesterday. If you skip to 3 minutes and 17 seconds, it shows us live trading, and I'm drawing on the chart, and we call a move in real time and explain it as it's happening every cent. And I draw a line where it's going to bounce off of, and pixel for pixel bounces off, and then we did it again later. The video would have been too long, but go watch the snapshots episode 19. It's the most recent video on our Facebook, and Facebook is just micro moment trading, and it's a pretty funny video.
Those sessions are recorded on for YouTube. And so you can see there's obviously several days late because, I'm not going to be doing active trades based on those things, but you can see exactly how they do it. And so that's good. And it's also, can you get those recordings on Facebook too?
Yep, it's on Facebook. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for being here. And we'll talk to y'all later on. Bye-bye.
Hope everyone has a great weekend. Stay safe.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. Bye.